emailing, my autoresponders, they're videos. If you guys haven't realized it by now, I'm going to break something to you, and maybe it'll hurt your feelings. People don't read. What? They don't read. No one is reading anymore. I read, okay? I make a point to read, but the majority of Americans are not reading on a daily basis anymore. They are watching videos. They are watching videos. We talked about this a couple years ago. We were talking about it a while ago, and we were like, I remember, what was that? What was Tino's last name? Johnson. Pretty smart guy. And he was saying like 5 years ago that everything was going to go to video, and I was like, well, I don't know, and we're kind of on the fence about it. It happened. Everything's gone to video. Okay, and it's not hard to get a camera and just put together a little video.
Well, where did Tino go?
I don't know.
He's in Utah.
That wasn't the point of the story.
No.
The point was Tino was right about what he said. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's out making videos, and maybe he's in Pakistan with a webcam. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time to get into Constant Contact, but just remember it's good for templates, and it's a little more spam friendly. Now, you don't ever want to be a spammer, but Aweber's telling me I'm a spammer when I'm not. Okay, so I had to look for an alternate option.
So these websites don't actually help you set up your squeeze page. They set up the forms that you put on the squeeze.
Correct. Okay, but these websites do something else, and let's just go look real fast. I'm glad you asked that question before we move on here. Let's go back. These websites are actually going to house your campaigns. So when you map your 6-week campaign, basically what you're going to do is you're going to say like, okay, I'm going to send out 2 emails a week for 6 weeks, right? Maybe I'll send one out on Tuesday and Thursday of every single week. I do that with you guys, if you haven't noticed.
Do you recognize the emails up there?
You see these?
It is our system that sent you an email.
You look at, well, actually it's not. We'll get to that in a second. Unless you're on this list, you're not getting it. And there's a bunch of different lists here. Cool thing about it is I can set up different lists, okay, for different marketing streams, and then I can schedule my campaign for the emails for each one of those lists. So that might be a little complicated to you guys right now, but just think that each list plugs into a series of emails. So let's go back to the short sale expert example. You're a short sale expert. You found your niche. You have your great offer. You're going to give them a report on how to get started on doing short sales. Okay, you have this nice little video series set up through the autoresponders. You come in and your contacts are on one of these lists. Okay, so it's like short sales is the name of your list, right? Now you go in and you make your emails. You plug them in to that list, and then you hit the send button. The cool thing about it is you can schedule them ahead of time. I'm jumping the gun here because this one hasn't even gone out yet. See it scheduled for 4/11? I can schedule these. These are the ones that have sent down here. Now you want to get the seed corn one? Look at that. There's my stats. I can look at my message. If I want to copy it, I can do that. And here's my message, okay? But when I let's say that I just copy it. Let's copy it real fast. I go in and put my subject right here. How do I get my subject? How did I figure that out? Larry Harbaugh already made the title for me, but how do I do my others? I'm hitting you on one of 3 things. Yeah, one of 3 things. I like emotions. I don't know. The emotions work pretty good. Like, man, this is awesome, you know. But sometimes I'll be like, hey, if it's a really good subject, I'll hit you from the expert side. You know, we have this expert coming in. He's got a new subject. It's really good. You need to come. Okay. So I actually use that to make my titles too. And then you can see how I wrote it here. My goal is to get you to click on one of these 2 things. Now you notice that these emails are not super flashy, right? Keep it simple, guys. We have found out, and not me, guys like Frank Kern, guys like Tony Robbins, guys that do a lot of marketing, that simple text works better than flashy stuff. Not only is it harder to get the flashy stuff to open on some people's phones, okay, Do you guys realize that 30 to 40% of everyone that is opening emails up now is opening them on their phone? It better work on this device. Here's another staggering statistic for Android and iPhone users. 80%, it's the first thing they do in the morning. It's how they start their day. I'm guilty. I'll be completely honest. It is the first thing I do when I wake up. It's on my nightstand next to my bed. It's my alarm clock now. Come on. I've got all my emails on this thing, and when I wake up, I'm like, is there anything I have to do before I get my coffee? Right? Okay, so that's the way things are going. So keep it simple. The whole goal here is to get them to click on the links. Does that make sense for everyone with the campaign now? Is it tying together for you guys? We're probably a little bit ahead of ourselves on the slides, but you're going to map that campaign out. You're going to map those emails out. You're going to use Aweber or Constant Contact to schedule those, and you can schedule them ahead of time. I have a whole 6 weeks scheduled right now. Okay. Now remember, all good campaigns are what? They are adjustable, because what if I got a really bad, feedback on that one? I had a pretty good, I don't know if you guys noticed, but 30% is a really high open rate. That means I have a strong list. 30%, and the email went out not too long ago. Okay, some people don't open their email up for 3 days. So 30% is a really strong rate. But had I had like 5 or 10%, I would have went back to the drawing board. Either I don't have a good offer, I don't have a good, or maybe I just have the wrong people, right? Maybe I've been out there, hustling and beating it up, and I'm standing in my gorilla suit on the corner with my sign, and just the wrong people are getting on my list. What have I just done? Wasting my time. Absolutely. So make sure you have a good offer. Make sure you have the right customers before you even put that offer together. And then make sure you have a good offer. You can figure out if you have a good offer based on your feedback on who's opening the emails and who's clicking on what. The links. Correct. Because that's the whole point of me doing it. Joe had mentioned how you guys get the emails and everything. We don't have enough time to go through all that, but here are some member databases. So let's say that you got your squeeze page and you got your form plugged in on your squeeze page. Oh, by the way, when you make your form, it's really easy to do. Like I saw you guys how to make the form. You just go to the next step and it gives you like a little code. You just copy that code and just paste it in on the squeeze page and your form's there. Okay? And once again, you don't have to actually do this. I'm going to show you how you can get it done for pretty darn cheap. All right? But you just copy and paste that code in and your form's on your page. But let's say that, let's say you're not using Aweber or Constant Contact. You're growing, right? Yay, clap. You're growing. You have a business. There's probably some people in this room that actually do have like a business that's probably doing okay. And you're thinking, how do I just I need some new customers. How do I just get into this whole technology thing? Using this model will work. Okay, but let's say that you actually do have a lot of members. You have a database. For you guys, we use Memberize. It is not a perfect system by all means. We know that. Okay, but it is a member database, and it will send the emails for us, so I can go in and schedule a campaign. I can go in and do a lot of the other stuff I need to do. I can have you guys sign up for classes online. It does a lot of that stuff, and it doesn't break the bank. Okay, so that's why we use it. It's a compromise. Are there better softwares out there? Yeah, your membership is about $1,000 a month. I don't have $1,000 a month. You guys got $1,000 a month to spend on a member database? Okay, so MemberClicks is another one that's really good. These are like Fortune 500 companies are using these. Okay, yeah, go buy a real estate investment, right? Memberize.com. But it works pretty good for a member database. So if you do have like 100 clients and they have like a monthly subscription you're doing and they're paying you every single month, you might want to go to a member database. Aweber and Constant Contact are not going to cut it for you at that point. Okay? That's like if you're accepting money and scheduling things and doing all that good stuff. Creating a form. You need to gather the name and email on the form. I think we've already hit this. You can ask for more information as the relationship develops. Remember, guys, it's a relationship. How do we know that the relationship is going well? Who here remembers going on their first date with their wife? One guy's being honest. No, maybe the others aren't. But, here's the thing. How do you know that Bob's like there? Yeah. He's going to be in trouble. How do you know that the date's going good? Kiss on the first date? Okay. Sweet. No, how do you know it's going well? Feedback, right? She laughs at your jokes? Okay. We know the basis of y'all's relationship. Funny guy. I'm just kidding with you.
Strategy was take them someplace real cheap, and if they still want to go out with you, then we're going out.
Oh, okay, take them someplace real cheap, and then, yeah. That's like throwing mud on the wall and seeing if it sticks, but you figure out based on the feedback. And I'll tell you, I don't think you're going to marry this girl if she's not going on the second date. So if they're not opening the second email, you're not creating a very good relationship. Okay? And it is a relationship. I want you to think about that. The offer. You gave it to them. You gave them some good stuff. They were pumped. Now they're on the list and they're sitting there. And it's hard. I mean, 'cause, we have full-time jobs throughout the day too. But we do realize that if we let that list go cold, it's gone. It's not going to be good anymore. We just, like if I don't ever call that person back after the first date, what if I call them in 6 months? I'm like, hey. They're like, what? You never talked to me again. The relationship's over. Okay? So I want you guys to think about that. You're going to plug that form into the website or squeeze page. You noticed on my website, I didn't get lost. It wasn't all this fancy, crazy stuff. I'm still trying to get you to get on my list. It's just a fancier website. I made that top block a squeeze page. You guys realize that? That was the point. Step 7, design your email campaign. You're going to target your list on the email server. You're going to plan a series of emails. 4 to 6 weeks is best. You're going to write the content for your emails. Does writing the content scare the pants off of anybody in here? I got a couple people shaking their head no. They are brave. What I'm doing right now is one of the hardest things for people. Speaking in public. It is one of the hardest things for the average person. It really is. It was hard for me. It took me a while to get over it. I think you probably heard my dad talk about the first time he ever spoke, how he had this board and he had this chalk going down. Well, email is not as bad, but it still makes people have to put themselves out there. They really do. They really do. But I'll tell you, if you really are an expert in something, it's not hard. You're just telling someone what you do and throwing in a little, modes of persuasion, and you're good to go. It's really that simple. And you didn't see a long email, did you? You could literally have 3 lines in an email. It's not hard to come up with a video where you're saying, hey, I got something awesome for you. And then, you're sending them emails, and the emails are just going through the list on stuff that you have. It's not hard to sell people stuff if you're an expert, you know what you're talking about. So that's why we tell you that over and over again. It's easy to generate content when you know it. It's hard to write a paper in college when you know nothing about it. It's really hard to write that paper when you care nothing about it. Right? Okay. Schedule the emails, monitor each email blast, and adjust your campaign as needed. Now, step 8. Launch your campaign. Some people just get lost. I don't know why. They just get on there and they're clicking here and they're clicking there, and then the phone rings, and then just, they'll take if you literally allotted the time to do it, it will not take you longer than 10 hours to do what I've just told you tonight. But you have to allot the time to do it. So you're going to press that send button to launch that campaign. I hope you got through those first 7 steps to get here. Okay? Because if you sit around and procrastinate, you will never do it. There will always be some type of excuse. The phone will always ring. The kids will always need some more food or money or gas for their car. Okay? It will always happen. So you have done all the hard work. Press the send button, sit back, and wait for that phone to ring off the hook. I'm telling you, if you really do this the right way, it will. Okay? Once again, do you have a good offer? If you have a good offer, and you have the customer, and you have demand, and you've done everything I told you tonight, how could it not work? Cool thing about it, we've already done it. It does work. Look around. See these people in the room? It works. Step 9, filter the prospects. Not every lead you get will be worth working with. If you're just getting started, by all means, take every lead you get. If you're not new, Don't take the bad leads. At some point, all these people will start knocking on your door, and your phone starts ringing off the hook, and you got to learn to tell people no. You got to learn to say no. The customer is not always right. Sometimes I don't even want them as a customer, because I still only have 24 hours in a day, and I still only have that amount of time for my workday allotted, and I can only get done what I have enough time to do. Okay? So filter out the bad leads. If you're just getting started, you have to take every lead. Do you know why? Because you don't know what's bad. If you don't know what's bad, then you'll never get anywhere. So take all the leads in the beginning, figure out what leads are wasting your time, and it can be hard sometimes because you're like, I know even Joe's been guilty of it in the back where he's like, this guy's never going to do anything. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just have a feeling, stick with it. Stick with it. A couple years later, a guy bought a house. Sometimes people are just on the fence for a really long time. So you have to have some discretion. You can tell the ones that are really wasting your time. They will burn up all your time. They will drain all your resources. At some point, you're going to need to transfer those hot prospects to a different list and work them continually. That's when you want that little hot list. You see the inner circle on here? I know some inner circle people are in this room right now. And they were people that came in and bought wholesale properties. We used to meet at Sneakers. We didn't do it for a long time because we launched ProU. But we know who those people are. We know who the buyers are. We know who would want what house. Those are our hot list. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You could be selling sprinkler systems and have a hot list. Maybe they're like, people that own apartments and they're just a repeat customer and you just know. Maybe you're selling toothpaste to British people. I don't know. Find a hot list. Step 10, wake up. Everyone's yawning. I'm going to make everybody stand up and stretch like Tony Robbins does. Do a little clapping. Yeah. Do business. Remember, the point of all this is not to gain a part-time hobby and mess around on the internet. The point is to get your phone to ring and receive an email and make some money. Did I have to go there? Yes, I did. How many people have sat on Facebook and have no clue what they are doing or where they are going after 5 minutes? I am guilty. It happens to us all. There's a lot of crazy stuff online. There's a lot. And you have to be focused. Okay? You have the right mindset, I promise you it'll work. I don't care if you're doing wholesaling. I don't care if you're doing lending. I don't care if you're doing marketing. I don't care what you do. If you will get the right mindset with what you are doing, you will succeed. You will. Okay? Get that phone to ring. Now, how can you save money? So let's say that you've blown up, you got the joelocklear.com, you're rolling, man, you sold a few houses, and things are growing, and now it's time to cut some expenses. Right? Who in here is a small business owner? There's a lot. Okay? So if you weren't a small business owner, did you see all those hands go up? There's a lot of them in this room. Okay? So you guys know at some point you have got to cut down on those fixed expenses, right? And what about those articles you didn't want to write? Hire VAs to perform mundane tasks. Everyone know what a VA is? It's a virtual assistant. And buddy, they work. You just have to know what to give them and what not to give them. There are mundane tasks that you can give to VAs, okay? Some of them are collecting data, answering phones. Some people are like, answering phones, what? Just hold on. Scheduling showings, posting properties on websites, filtering email, and a good thing my little brother's not here because Joe might be like, you're out of a job. Because I haven't even told him this stuff. But VAs work really good for this stuff. I'll give you an example of collecting data. I am running a campaign right now for my property management company. We're out of houses. We had all these houses. We hired this new rental agent. She rented up everything we had. She's awesome. One of the best hires we've had. Well, now we need more houses. We got to rent more houses because we got to make sure that she produces. Okay? Or else she's out of a job. All right? Small business, right? Not a lot of resources. So collecting data, man, I don't want to pay somebody $10 and $15 an hour just to sit there and copy information and paste it somewhere else. That is a mundane task. So I got on LinkedIn.com and I contacted this lady that had contacted me like a couple months ago. Well, it was about a month ago, and she asked me. She said, "Hey, I know that you're doing a lot of this marketing stuff. Do you need a virtual assistant?" And her name was like Mai Cha or something. And she's in the Philippines, and I was like, "Yeah," but I kept it. I kept that email. Well, I contacted her back, and I said, "Hey, Mai Chua. I have a task. Will you do it on a task basis? Because I don't want to hire somebody. I don't want to worry about health care and all that crazy stuff and employment taxes and all that mess. I don't want to do it. I just want somebody for cheap." So she came back and she said, "Yeah." So I'm going to ask you guys, how does $4 an hour sound? Guess what she's doing? I gave her a spreadsheet with 561 landlords who have either rented their property out in the last 30 days, been unable to rent their property out in the last 60 days, or they have been unable to sell their house in over a year. So these are people that might be motivated to get their house rented out, right? Okay. Or they might be motivated to retain us for property management services. So I got these 561 hot prospects. That's a pretty hot list. That's a pretty good list. 561 hot prospects there. But we have to go over to coj.net now and copy all their addresses because we know that the property they own, but we don't know where they live. So we have to have somebody copy their mailing address into the spreadsheet so we can, print that out and then send them postcards and letters in the mail. I'm not paying somebody $10 to $15 an hour to copy and paste. I will not do it. I have someone in the Philippines that's really good at it. They're going to do it for $4 an hour. They've already started. They're doing a great job. And here's a cool thing. They take screenshots of what they're doing every 15 minutes. And they send them to me in a short video. And I just watch it. It takes me about 5 minutes and I can see that they're doing their job. Guess what it would have cost me to get all of it done with the person in the office? $400. Guess what it's going to cost with the VA? $100. That is 1/4 of the cost. Okay? Mundane task. Now, answering phones, I know. Nobody wants that person that works for Dell in India answering the phone who can't help you. You can get him for $10 an hour domestically. No employment taxes, no health care, nothing else. Sound pretty cool for you small business owners, right? You about to fire the secretary? I'm just kidding. Mundane tasks like scheduling showings. You can set them up on a calendar. They can give people lockbox codes. You can have properties posted on websites. They can filter your email. Okay?
What's the contact number?
elance.com. Okay? elance.com. Sorry?
Is there a big setup fee to do this?
The way that I found my VA was they literally just sent me a message on LinkedIn. And they were like, "Hey, are you interested in this?" And I contacted them back. I didn't pay a dime. All it cost me was having a profile on LinkedIn with a photo that looks good and a write-up about me, right? They found me. They knew I was someone that would be interested. We're doing business.
You go on to Odesk and just put a request out there.
Yeah. Odesk is another one.
You'll get several resumes of people that want to do.
Yeah, good suggestion, Bob. Odesk is another website.
How do you spell that?
It's just O, the letter O, and then desk.
In other words, hire my mom.
HireMyMom.com, Mike says. HireMyMom.com. So there's a couple for you. Let's just glance at Elance real fast. All right, so the VA thing, cool. But now it's getting really cool because we have programmers, mobile developers, designers. For all you people who are scared of content, writers. We have marketers. Look at this, 96,880 jobs posted in the last 30 days, 734 million payments. 734 million in payments. So people are using this. This is legit, all right? Do you guys remember when I talked about Frank Kern? Frank Kern, man, this guy, he wrote a book on how to teach your parrot to talk. How to teach your parrot to talk.
Did he write the book?
Frank Kern is the author of this book. He didn't write the book. He got $650 together like 10 years ago. He went on Elance. He hired a writer to write this book on how to teach a parrot to talk. Not only has Frank Kern never owned a parrot, but he has no clue how to teach one how to talk. I wonder how the writer did. He sold the heck out of this book on Amazon. It was his first venture. He made $1 million very easily. Okay, and just because he went on Elance, and I'm telling you, you're going to be a millionaire getting on Elance, I'm telling you, there's people on here that can do what you need done. Okay, so don't be scared of that, and not for a whole lot. There's also Craigslist. You could go on Craigslist and find someone that'll go out and take photos of your properties and could post them online for you. Okay, so you could get local people for cheap. I like Elance because they're all professional. They have some pretty good writers on here.
You really have your hands full with Craigslist when you do that.
Sorry?
You really have your hands full when you do that with Craigslist.
Why?
Everybody comes out of the woodwork and says they can do the job.
What do you do then? Weed out the bad leads. weed out the bad ones, and it's really easy. You'll get that guy. You just go with your gut. You'll get that one that shows up. You know it's him. You know who you want to do business with pretty darn fast.
I know the pain.
Yeah. We've had great success with it. We really have. The kick butt rental agent that I talked about. Where'd she find us? Craigslist. She found us on Craigslist. It's kind of funny because she came over from one of our competitors and he was like, "You jerks! You took my hey." She found us on Craigslist. She contacted us. We just put the advertisement out there and forgot about it. She came back and contacted us. So I love Craigslist for local stuff. But with the VAs, I want you to think about the VAs because that's a really big one, okay? $4 an hour to do a lot of that stuff. I mean, you don't have to go out and get an entire staff to be a successful real estate investor. We will mention the big four, and they are Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you are not on these four websites and you think that you're going to market yourself as a professional, you are missing the boat. You're insane. You just are. 2 years ago, you were wondering if this stuff was going to stick. And it's really easy to get caught up because there's like a new thing coming out all the time. Facebook is the #1 website in the world. Twitter is the number 10 website. Website, guys, #1 in the world. Guess what number 2 is? Google.com. Facebook has passed Google. Facebook has passed Google. Do you know what those people are doing when they wake up in the morning when they're checking their emails? They're checking their Facebook too. They're looking at their Facebook because people are getting news from Facebook now. What is news anyways? It's just what's going on. So they want to know what their family and friends are doing. Okay? That's what's going on in the world right now. These work, okay? Facebook works. It's #1. Twitter's number 10. YouTube is the number 3 website in the world. Number 3. Do you know why? Well, first off, everyone's watching video. We discussed that. But why are they number 3? Someone in this room knows, and they're just not saying it. Google owns them. If you go to a Google search and type in real estate investor, and then go and click on the video link, I guarantee you 8 out of 10 of those videos will be YouTube. They'll be YouTube. They'll throw 1 or 2 on there just to be fair, like Vimeo or one of the others. But YouTube is holding it down. Number 3 website in the world, and everyone's on video. So think about this for a second. You're an expert. Doesn't have to be a real estate investor, by the way. You're an expert. You have your niche. You go and you do a couple of videos on YouTube. You get your squeeze page. You plug the video in. All of a sudden, people are paying attention to you because what? You have demand because you found something people like. They're watching your videos. They're signing up on your emails. Now what are you doing? Come on. Wake up. Tell me what you're doing. You're selling. You're selling now. Now you sell. Why do you sell now? You have a relationship. Now you have the relationship. Now guess what happens? I walk in with my flyer. I'm like, You're like, hey, where you going, man? I want to buy that. Now I've built my relationship. Now I have. Now I'm not that guy in the back of the room anymore crying over my, black and white, poor flyer that nobody ever wants to buy my house. Maybe it was a good deal. Nobody knew. They didn't have a relationship. Now you're selling. It's not that hard. You've got your pipeline built. You have your clients. Sell. How do you get more clients? Evergreen marketing. They're continually coming in because they're continually putting their email in on the subscribe form because they're continuing to get the video education. Now that video education can't go super stale. You've got to revamp that every now and again. But it'll last for about a year. So, doing it once a year. Do you have to have like 45 minutes like Joe that are like really in-depth and awesome? No. You don't have to do that. It depends on what you're selling. Once again, being a real estate investor, you might want to because buying a home is one of the biggest things anyone will ever do. But it depends on what you're selling. If you're just teaching people's kids how to play baseball, do you really need, that long? You might give away all your content right then and there in those videos. But you got a couple teasers. And you're giving them just enough. And now they want more. Now you sell them. Okay? So you need to be on Facebook, you need to be on Twitter, you need to be on YouTube, you need to be on LinkedIn. It is not hard to create a Facebook profile. It is not hard to create a Facebook business page. Go to the help menu on Facebook, type in how to create a business page. A whole thing will pop up just like in Google or anywhere else, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. And if I had a monkey as a pet, I'd have a video of them doing it. Okay? Because it's that easy. It is that easy. All right? Twitter is awesome. I love it because it's automated. It's really just for providing links. Like if you don't understand it and you're like, oh, it's Twitter. It's really just for providing links. So the cool thing about Aweber, I can click a button. It'll automatically post on Facebook. It'll automatically post on Twitter. And why not? Okay? Why not? I get a lot of leads that'll bridge over. Now everything's twisting together and I have a whole tree here, not just a bunch of branches. And they start to cross over. People start coming from the Facebook list. They start opting in over here. I got people that are looking at, the Facebook from the Aweber. It all starts to work together. But it's automated. It's partially automated because I'm just clicking a button when I'm sending my Aweber email out and it's just going to post on Facebook for me. It's just going to post on Twitter for me. So pretty cool, right? Now you're not spending all day long on there like trying to come up with stuff and typing it in and you're wore out. And no, you just create your one stream of content for your one campaign and then use the different avenues to blast it. So you're using your YouTube for your video and then using your Facebook, your Twitter to blast it out there. LinkedIn is a little bit different because what you need to do on LinkedIn is go on there and create the profile and then start to, gain business prospects. Is anyone on LinkedIn? A lot of people in here are on LinkedIn too. I'm proud of you guys. LinkedIn is really good because everybody on there's for business. And no one, on Facebook sometimes people, they're like, well, I don't really want to hear your business. I'm going to unfriend you. That's cool. Get off my list. Because I'm on Facebook for one reason. Business. I really don't care what people's kids are doing that I went to high school with. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm on there for business. I got on there for business, and I'll be on there for business. I have made that decision. Okay? People know. And if you're not a hot prospect, get off my list. Okay? That is how it is. Cool thing about LinkedIn, I don't have to do that because I can send people offers all day long and they're like, cool man, yeah, that's cool. I'll send you an offer, you send me an offer, and it's just really friendly like that. But there's no button that you can click just to go directly on LinkedIn yet. I'm guessing one will show up pretty soon. Any questions about Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn? Awesome. All right, we're going to wrap up. If you have been on Facebook for 2 hours and have not created your business page yet, browse funny and bizarre videos on YouTube for 30 minutes and still have no YouTube channel, followed celebrity tweets all month long and still claim you do not understand Twitter, or browsed Google every day and you have not created an advertisement yet, you're screwing around. Stop screwing around. Seriously. Stop messing around online. Stop getting distracted. Get the right mindset. You want to sell stuff? Get the right mindset. You want to sell houses? You want to be a wholesaler? You better get the right mindset and stop messing around. Once again, you can go on Facebook and just type it in. It'll tell you how to do it. I told you how to do it. This video is going to be online. You can watch it again. Just don't mess around. Do it. That's it. Thank you. You guys have any questions about anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do all this, and I start building my list over that 4 to 6 weeks, how quickly do I have to make an offer on the actual house? Or it gets stale, or they get disinterested?
How quick do you have to offer them a house for sale? Okay. You know, if you're giving them good information, they'll hang on for a while. I mean, we've had lists out there that we probably didn't offer a house for like 2 to 3 months. But I really think if you get to 3 months and you're just giving the information and not giving them any type of opportunity, you're going to see them start to trickle off.
Well, just ask here, how many people have been on my mailing list for how long and you haven't bought a house? 6 months?
But it goes there.
Okay. And some people haven't bought one because they haven't had one to sell. I mean, they go pretty quick.
But we do, I mean,
Around and they stay on that list.
if you tell people they're going to be on a buyer's list, you better have some properties coming through at some point. So to answer your question, it can get stale after about the 8th week. I mean, if you do the 4 to 6 week campaign and you don't have anything to sell at the end of that campaign, I'd recommend getting a product together or trying to get something together pretty quick. See, I wouldn't even launch the campaign yet, remember? Because I'd have that offer ready. I'd know what I was going to sell before I even launched that campaign. But let's say that I was gauging my demand based on how many people got on my list. I better get something to offer pretty quick. I mean, I don't really want to launch a campaign and then have nothing to sell at the end of that campaign. So that's really kind of the whole point of putting the campaign together. Any other questions, Joey?
Let's say you got a product, the one I have in credit restoration, and I want to take it to another level.
Sure.
But I do not personally want to do what you just explained, but I would like to get that put together. What type of person do I speak to?
What type of person do you speak to?
Done for me, take my product.
Yeah, take your product and blow it up. Well, there are people out there that can put this together for you pretty easily, but they might charge you a lot of money if you go after someone that's a marketer. I would try to find somebody that was technically inclined, show them this business model, and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Because it's very simple. Now, people are screaming over here, get a VA, because yeah, you can do it. You really can. VAs are a step above Craigslist.
Right now, I'm really concentrating on the VA aspect.
Yeah.
But I'm busy doing other things, and I really need to micromanage to be able to get that done. So that's what I love.
Well, if you're going to sell stuff and you're going to do, I mean, you're going to have to at least take the time to put the YouTube videos together. I mean, you have somebody else doing your YouTube videos for you, and then, I mean, what are you really doing? Like, I mean, I guess maybe you can go out and find a salesman for you, but that's probably not going to work too great. Like, if you're selling the stuff, like, you know, you really need it to be like, hey, I'm Joey, I'm the expert, I'm the guy here, this is my niche, and then, you know, you can find people to do all that other stuff for you. Once again, Elance, there are people on there that can do that stuff.
Because I did go with that website, getting the website first.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It took me forever
Yeah.
to be able to get consistent leads, and now
Yeah.
I'm bringing in leads a day.
Yeah.
But I want to take that to another realm.
I mean, the best platform out there is Kajabi. It's $99 a month. There's some cheaper ones out there. You could go in and Google and just type in squeeze page generator, and you're going to find like some software on there that's probably like $60 that, you know, you can generate some of those squeeze pages with.
I think what,
Kajabi.
I think the thing he's trying to say is there a consultant that'll come in and just do it? And I don't know if there is or not.
I don't have anything to sell with that. I mean, I'm not going to.
It's a lot of knowledge, it's a commitment. I mean, I think it would cost you several $1,000s to bring in somebody and then do it. But you just got to learn enough about it yourself that you can tell the VAs what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about price points.
Let's take it. He's not going to do it for you. He's going to sell you a package.
Right.
You buy a package for about, how much is his package?
Well, those packages are probably like $2 to $3 grand, maybe more.
And then you still got to do it.
Maybe more.
You know, so.
What's the question? Go ahead.
You almost have to commit to do yourself.
Yeah, I think you're right on. I just had a proposal from a marketing person to do all of this for another business we own,
Mhm.
$3,000.
Yeah, $3,000. Yeah, but hey, seriously, what you have to remember is there is a whole generation that knows how to do this stuff. They're between the ages of 15 and 30, and they know this stuff. I'm 30. I'm one of the oldest ones. I had to go back.
They just know how to do the pieces.
Yeah.
So you can hire people to do the pieces.
Absolutely.
But you're not gonna hire somebody without a lot of money to put the overall campaign.
If you don't have thousands of dollars to do it, you're going to need to manage your own campaign. You just are. And I really don't suggest letting somebody else be the expert for you. Okay, that's just part of it. You are the expert. I mean, if you are the primary person that has the information and the know-how in that business or skill, why would you have somebody else do that? Now, as far as just plugging the stuff in, don't be scared of that, because it really isn't hard. You can get somebody that's young that won't charge you a whole lot for it. I mean, the best way to do it is to go find somebody you know that knows stuff about technology and get them to do it.
When it comes to website, you look for credit repair in Jacksonville, I'm right there, ranking on top right after the advertisement.
Okay.
I'm right-
So you're top 10.
Yeah, so we worked hard on
Are you converting leads, though?
yes, right now.
You are, okay.
It's beginning to happen now.
And once you get those leads, what do you do with them?
Well, we're working.
How are you working them?
We return an email, we call them directly,
Okay.
and we try to get them to order their credit repair.
So when you say it take to the next level, what do you mean?
That I want to see 20 or 30 leads a day.
Okay. Well, then you just need to do more marketing.
Yeah, exactly. But you just explained right there, that's what I really want.
Figure out who your target consumer is and start hitting them in a bunch of different levels. It takes people, on average, 3 times to even register you exist. It takes people.
A little bit, but I mean, what you could do is do some short videos, little 2-minute videos. These are the 3-4 steps you have to do. And the last video is basically, now, you don't really have to do all this yourself.
Yep, exactly.
We can do it for you. We have a system set up. If you want to just step right in the system and get this done tomorrow, then you just go right to this right here and sign up.
But I think you need to create, and what he's talking about plugs into it too. Remember the relationship example. I want you to really, really think about the relationship you have with these people. Have you just sent them a couple of emails? Because you don't really have a relationship. Okay? You really don't. Are you doing seminars on teaching people how to do credit repair and letting them come in for free and just to hear about it?
We've been really wanting to go that way.
Then do it. Do it. Get some people in there. I mean, you got to stir it up. Hit it with every single different facet that you can think of, and then you'll figure out what works, and then do that a bunch. Question.
What about the opposite of that? So I'm not the expert, I'm fairly new, I haven't done a whole lot. So how do I provide the value, and show my offering? How do I get leads coming my way, being that I'm not a 30-year entrepreneur that can just offer this information?
Well, I always preach be the expert, because it is the most effective way to sell.
Are you looking for buyers or sellers?
Well, for buyers, ultimately I'd like to.
Well, I know you've been in business a couple of years.
Yeah, find your niche.
You just be honest, say, look, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've done this and this, and I know you've got some good deals, but I bought some of your deals.
Yeah, focus on what you're good at, remember? Focus on what you're good at. Like, if have you had any success within real estate investing at all? Okay, well, there you go. That's what you need to be able to present to people. You're like, hey, look, this was a problem. I solved it. Okay? That's what you really are doing here. You are solving people's problems. They have a problem, you're the guy that can handle it. Okay? And if you have 0 track record at all, before, you just have to jump in and do it a little bit of it. If you do a whole lot of it, I guarantee you'll be able to at least do one deal. If you really go out there and beat the bushes up and tell people I buy houses, somebody will sell you a house. Okay? Hopefully it's a good deal, and you know that it's a good deal. But I know you've already done a couple deals, so just tell people what you were able to do for somebody else. And that's a good way to sell. Questions?
How interesting was this to you guys? Is this something that you would want to hear more about?
Yeah.
Do you think this would be a subject, especially, I don't know how we could get everybody to have their computers on the internet, I don't know how good their service is here, but would you guys be interested in a Saturday where it was like this, but a lot more hands-on?
This is life, that's what you do.
Yeah, we could do that, yeah. Okay.
2:30.
All right, we're gonna put that together for you guys, and it's gonna be a hands-on workshop, and we're gonna dig down deep into this stuff and show you how to do it. It really works well if while I'm showing you how to do it, you're doing it. It really works well, and it'll take you a few times to do it for it to really sink in. Okay, so go home and watch this video. All right. Any more questions? Awesome. Thank you guys.